Alright, so Salt Mel is releasing this week for global, or at least the global YouTube page posted the video says Salt Mel is coming soon, so that's probably what it means. We're getting a Salt Mel on global, and he's a really good unit. I'm seeing a very divided response from it. A lot of people are saying that they're really excited for him, but a lot of people are also saying that they're really not that excited about it at all. They were gonna skip Assault Melee, which I wanna know what you guys doing. You skipping Assault Melee? You summoning for him? I personally think it's a good investment. I say investment because right now, as we speak right now, JP Assault Melee isn't the most meta. Like, he's good, and on ungeared you can definitely make him work quite well. But in a general sense, it's just very difficult to really work him out when you're facing someone that actually knows how to face against him. Depending on a lot of RNG, if you don't get his ultimate very early, you can just lose the match because of it. He depends a lot on the ultimate sometimes, and really, you're gonna have to go for dupes. It's just a case where the one Escanor, you don't really need his dupes because majority of matches you win by just using your attack cards, not the ultimate. But Assault Melee is a different case, where a lot of matches you do win because of the ultimate, not because of the attacks, because most matches your opponent just doesn't attack you. They just go for an ultimate, they keep shielding, but a lot of times they do. If they have Green Galfer and they know what they're doing, they're gonna keep attacking you with Green Galfer and keep taking off your ultimate gauge. You need to take those situations to maybe control Green Galfer, or you might need to go first and push an ultimate, as fast as you can. But a lot of times, it really is harsh to win with Assault Melee if the opponent knows what they're doing. That's why Assault Melee is an investment, because honestly, right now, as we speak, the best units to focus on is this team right here. This is the best team for him. You can make some other builds work. I need to play before this timer runs out. You definitely can make some builds work for him, but in a general sense, this is the best. You can definitely work with like green Draw, with even Astarosa, with green Derriere, blue Derriere, Glocks, right? Red Glocks. You definitely can make him work with different builds as well, but in a general sense, this is the best. And this is what I think is his worst issue. This right here. You cannot work him out without really making a full demon / commitment team. And the commitments are lacking, man. If Red Melascula is your best friend, there's something wrong, right? And that's a big reason why this team doesn't work so well in geared, because again, you are going to need Melascula. In the general sense, every single person that faces you, if they go first, they're going to kill Meliodas. They're going to kill Meliodas. Meliodas is decently tanky, but not enough. They're going to kill Meliodas. It's just how it is. And if you're using Melascula, they can't just kill Meliodas, they have to kill Melascula first, or if they go for the kill Meliodas, he's gonna be a zombie for like 2-3 turns until they kill Melascula. So that's why she's his best friend, just because of how fragile he is. And yeah, you can, honestly, if you want to go on geared, you can actually work him out with HP defense, and that could work, but then you're lacking the damage. It really doesn't work all that well when you're outputting the DPS afterwards, right? So you're gonna have to still go with attacking crit if you're gonna use him in his best build. And right now, this is why. Because you're gonna have to use these units that are good, but they're not the best. So in the future, once we get, Chandler, Kusak, a new festival, Zeldris, or something like that, Assault Melee is gonna probably be phenomenal. But currently, it's just his team just gets pounded by the one. It's just how it is. With the release of Merlin, surprisingly, Merlin didn't really change much for Assault Melee. In a general sense, if someone's using a Merlin team, you actually have a really good advantage over the Merlin team. I don't know why. It's just Merlin can't control Assault Melee so well as the one can. The one is just too much. If someone's using the one and they manage to get their ultimate, that's it. It's GG. So it's It's an interesting case where Merlin doesn't work so against Assault Melee. Assault Melee works really well against Merlin, the 1 works really well against Assault Melee, but Merlin works really well against the 1. So it's a pretty good triangle there with the 3 festivals. But I think another issue with him on the meta is just Goddess Liz is like the strongest unit in the game right now, really, honestly. She works with Merlin, she works with the 1, she works with Sauria, she works with everything, but Assault Melee doesn't work with her. So that's another issue for him. But he's a good investment, because in the future, once we get more demons in, more commandments, his team is probably going to be looking much better. You just look at the roster for demons. I bring this up a lot, but look at the roster for demons. That's it. Most of them are Meliodas. You know, you can't even run Meliodas in there. Blue Zeldris sucks with Meliodas. You need crit support for Blue Zeldris. You need like Green Gopher or something to make it work, and you can't. He's sneaking in here because the link for Melascula. Doesn't work. I tried. Doesn't work. Works okay. Or works okay. Works okay. Doesn't work. This whole line doesn't work. It's an investment. You're not gonna be successful right away with Meliodas. Just play a match. I know I talk about him very negatively, but it's not because I hate him. It's harsh love. You know, I really like the unit. It's just they really dropped him. They only dropped Meliodas so soon because they wanted to, you know, go on the hype with the 1, because the 1 released and they immediately released Assault Melee because they wanted to barge in with the hype of just having the 1 and then also having Assault Melee, you know, in there as well. They clearly only went for that, you know. So let's go for this. Luckily we got an ultimate with Dro here at turn 1. It's really good. They went for the hype, and that definitely negatively impacted Meliodas. Because imagine if Meliodas had released already with more support, it would have been way better. But unfortunately, things aren't aren't as it is. Aren't how I would, you know, prefer them to be. Oh, this person attacking my Droll? Not a very good idea. You're buffing Meliodas. He is playing the game incorrectly. If you face Meliodas, the one thing you don't want to do is attack. This is definitely a real player. He's definitely CC food. 158k, definitely CC food. You don't want to attack Meliodas. You wanna no. Be sneaky when you're attacking Meliodas. Cut me, Chigiri. Love his voice lines. Because these 2 buffs that he gave me were enough for me to kill, you know, with the AoE and then the single target. When you're facing a Meliodas, you don't want to attack him. You want to... I mean, he had to attack once. No, he didn't even have to attack at all. He should have just moved his Askener cards. And that could have been enough for me to not kill him. Not giving me the 2 buffs could have been enough for me to not kill him. Because what happens is, Meliodas' passive in general, if you don't know, is when an enemy attacks your allies, all the enemies get their defense-related stats lowered by 15%, and Meliodas gets all his stats buffed. Is it by 5%? I think it's 5. All his stats, everything. So, this is a much worse case scenario here. Oh, he's using green Askener? It's weird. It's a bot. I can tell because it's perfect connection on JP. JP, if you're playing and you get like perfect connection on the cards, it's definitely a bot. Because unless this person lives nearby me, which very rarely. But yeah, if you're facing, you know, Assault Melee, you definitely don't want to attack as much as possible. This is smart though. If this is the only attack you should do the whole turn, you do 1 Green Gopher attack just so they can't use an ultimate. That's it. You just do the 1 Green Gopher attack and keep stalling with your other units. Let's just go for this because this is a bot. He attacked me. Caught me, Chigiri. Kill the Askener. And here's the thing, right? I didn't have a taunt, or else I would have used it. I'll use a taunt. In this scenario, this is why you use Melascula. Because he's using Sauriel. All he could do is, all he would have to do, is rank up Sauriel twice and kill Meliodas. That's it. Meliodas is pretty fragile. But because I'm using Melascula, he can't do that. He just can't. Alright. It is tough love, but just because if they waited to release him after they had already released some more demon units, it would have been so much better for Meliodas. And I'm surprised. Ever since Melee came out, the only demon support they gave him was Blue Dariari, which wasn't even that good. Like, she's okay, but it wasn't even that good of a support, you know? That's... For Assault Meliodas, it could have given him much more support. You know what I mean? So yeah, his 3-time defense lowered. I should target him with Meliodas just to be sure. He's 3-time defense lowered, so he's gonna take way more damage than he should. Not enough, apparently. Definitely not enough. I mean, especially with me increasing his resistance with drill. But the resistance thing is actually really good because, of course, Meli's AoE is double damage against buffs. So if you can, you know, attack once with an AoE and attack second with another AoE, the second AoE will actually proc it. Oh, perfect example. Why use Melascula? All this time, only now I get a freaking taunt. Only now. This whole time playing, only now I get a taunt. But yeah, this is perfect example why you use Melascula. Unfortunately, when they kill your Meliodas, you lose all your buffs. So, something to keep in mind. Yeah, see, his ultimate doesn't even kill sometimes red units. Because I thought, you know, oh, you don't even need, you know, commandments and demons because you just ult rush with Meliodas if you have the 6/6, right? But that's not exactly the case. A lot of times with Meliodas, when I, you know, try to use it without demons and commandments, if I ult rush, I just don't kill. So you do want to have those commandments and demons for sure. But yeah, this is general sense. That's all you need to know about Meliodas. Sometimes you're gonna lose. It's just how it is. If you're facing someone that's like a good the-one player. But in a general sense, if you're playing ungeared, if against teams like these, you should be fine. Unless they get like godly RNG and you get terrible RNG, that of course can always happen, right? I'm gonna predict me here. let's waste this card. Actually, I might lose this one actually, depending on his cards. Let's see. I mean, he definitely gets, you know, Lost Veins ultimate. Oh, I lost. I actually lost. Because yeah, he's got Lost Veins ultimate. There's nothing you can do about it. I can make him waste a move, that's about it. There's really nothing I can do about it. But I mean, at this point, only if, yeah, if I had the one, I would have won easily. I would have just killed Meliodas twice like it's nothing, right? So it's it's definitely an example where if I had the one, I would have just killed Meliodas first turn, and that would be it. Like that would be it. Oh, different approach. You're self-cleansing and just ulting straight away. Interesting. Oh yeah, he just went for the double ult. Man, again, there's just nothing I can do. Meli doesn't output any damage. I'm talking any damage. If I didn't want to attack Meli because I didn't want to crit him. Meli doesn't output any damage, and I wouldn't kill Meli anyways because revive. If you don't have his buffs, zero damage. That I'm talking 0 damage. This man hits nothing without buffs. So that's unfortunate. Well, it happens. Just lost to OG Glue Eater. OG Glue Eater trumps my team only because of Goddess Liz, and that's, you know, an issue I just talked about. Goddess Liz is just the most annoying in the game. If not for Goddess Liz, I would have just gone for the kill on Meliodas from the last kill there of the ultimate, right? And I would have easily killed, but then revive. So revive just really messes up Meliodas' team for sure. That's about it with Meliodas. He's good, but as you can see, if I can lose to that team, it shows you a very big flaw with Assault Meliodas in general. If they ult rush, not much you can do about it. Unless you're using Green Dariari, but if you're using Green Dariari, you're gonna face the one and it's gonna one-shot your Meliodas. So there's no winning. There's no win. There's no winning with Meliodas. Not currently. It's a long-term investment.